make sure to follow us on Instagram at Whistlethrowers. It's a great way to interact with our show. Our DMs are always open for questions, topic discussions, and more. You will be able to find our new episodes and other announcements there.
I think there's no way you move on from Tatum. I think there's no way.
It would be Brown.
Right.
Because Brown would probably be the reason they lose.
Exactly.
Thanks for tuning back into the Whistlethrowers podcast. This is Jack Mubarak, joined by
Jack Slanaker.
And no Aiden today. He's throwing hot dogs in Wells Fargo right now. Yeah, actually, while we're on the topic of hot dogs, let's talk about the Phillies banning Dollar Dog Night and replacing it with Buy One, Get One Night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
a sad day in Philadelphia sports history. I mean, the thing is, like, if you're a true Philadelphia Phillies fan, which, like, obviously you and I go, like, way back with the team, Dollar Dog Night has always been a thing every year. And now they have dwindled the number of games down over the years. And, like, obviously last year they were planning for this somewhat because they only put, like, $2 or $3 dog nights in the beginning of the year. Yeah. And then didn't do it again. But, like, way back in the day, they would do it quite frequently, like, at least once a month or once every 2 months, so that obviously it draws a huge crowd and everyone loves it. And the teams were good back then too, so it was easy to draw crowds anyway. And then the Dollar Dog Night just made it even more crazy. But we never saw mayhem like we saw last year, really. And unfortunately, although it was very fun, you know, I have, although I didn't throw any hot dogs myself when I was there.
We were both at the last one.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It was against the Blue Jays. And I was recording it and laughing. We saw the security, like, they were, once people started throwing them in the air, like, they came out from the concourses and, like, were watching and looking for people throwing them. So, like, it was obviously frowned upon by the Phillies at the beginning. And now you're getting this, which, like, it is still pretty much Dollar Dog Night, just in a reduced form. It's sad, but it was obviously necessary because a lot of people didn't like it. And, like, you're going to draw fans away keeping it around and allowing people to do that.
It's deserved, honestly. I'm sad it happened. I don't think this is the solution to their problem. I just think people are going to buy half and then throw the other half.
Yeah.
I feel like the Philly fans in recent years have just kind of embraced the scumbag mantra too far, and they're kind of just running with it. And it's just, like, too much at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to throw food around to get on Barstool Philly. Like, there's just, it's not cool, really, especially all the people that have to clean it.
Yeah, and throwing it on the field, too.
Yeah, there was probably, like, 100 hot dogs on the field by the end of the game, which is...
You just can't do that.
It could mess up, like, imagine if there's, like, a deep drive to right field and you throw a hot dog and the right fielder slips on it.
Yeah.
Like
it's an injury or something like that, yeah.
Sad day. I will be at the Buy One, Get One Night, though.
Yeah,
so it's going to be the exact same thing.
It'll be the same crowd, and people will still find a way to throw stuff, like, almost as retaliation. But I also think, like, a lot of the crowd that was throwing hot dogs is kind of like, not going to do it. And, like, they'll be looking for people,
I don't know about that.
Well, you know they're going to be looking for people. And the thing is, once they up the security presence, that's just going to drive a lot of them away regardless. But there are going to be the idiots that are like, I don't care, and just do it anyway. Like, that's a given.
Yeah.
Especially in the Philadelphia crowd.
We can move into the NBA right now. Probably the hottest story is the Warriors getting absolutely smoked yesterday.
Yeah.
This is recorded on Monday. So on Sunday, the Warriors got beat by
50, right? Or 40?
It was probably closer to 60.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think it was like 140 to 88 final score, which is ridiculous because the Warriors used to do that back in their day. I got it right here.
Yeah.
It was
140 to 88, 52. 52
yeah, 52 points. We talked about it in the past. I think this is like the end of the road for the Warriors.
Yeah.
I think they do have some good young guys, but like I think trading Jordan Poole was a mistake in hindsight. Like I know he's playing terribly in Washington, but I think it's safe to say he would be playing up miles better on the Warriors. And Chris Paul has not been available for them. And when he has been, it just isn't what you would have wanted, even though I don't know what you expected to get.
Yeah, I agree. Keep going.
But yeah, even like Jonathan Kuminga, who I love and I wish he would be on my home team, like he can't carry what they had.
You don't build around that.
No. He's great to have, but you're going to have to either get a draft around him or just trade and see what you could get for him.
Yeah, right. And they're like in that purgatory spot in sports, which is like mediocre, where you're not good enough to compete, not bad enough to draft high. They're not really in a good spot for that. Like if they somehow lose in the play-in, which is a very good chance of that happening, obviously, they could get a lottery pick, and it's almost like you're just crossing your fingers, which I know the NBA has made it semi-easier for like those teams to like have more of a chance to get number one, but you still don't want to bank on that. You'd obviously rather be in the Spurs position right now with Victor Wembanyama to build around, and like that's the thing. Like the Warriors may say, yeah, we want Wembanyama, and the Spurs might be saying, we want your role pieces right now. You know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but like I feel you'd rather be in the Spurs position right now, because the thing is, I've been thinking about this as a Sixers fan with Embiid, and I would be doing the same thing as a Warriors fan with Curry. What can I really get for you right now? Like, there's the injury thing with Curry. He's older. His numbers are sliding just a tad. I know he scored 60 points, and like he's obviously still got something in the tank. That's clear. But are you really going to get a major haul where you're going to get a pick that is going to be high? Because that's what you want to trade him for. If you're going to trade Steph Curry, you want to get a pick that's at least in the top 10, but you're going top 5. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who would really do that?
A lot of the teams that would want him like wouldn't even have the high picks either.
Yes.
So.
And that's my fear with Embiid too. It's like, yeah, obviously I hear people, maybe it's time to move on. Like there's no disagreement there. It's just, what can I really get? It's like, I'd almost take the risk of riding him out than trading him for not something that he's worth. You know what I mean? And then you're extending your rebuild period. So like, they're in a very, very difficult situation, which I'm very thankful the Sixers are at least competent and 10 games above 500. So like, you're not in total disarray. Like you have pieces that you can keep, and like you have Maxey who's budding, and like Embiid is still a superstar. But the Warriors, you have your superstar. You have, like you said, Kuminga. I know he's not a Maxey, but he's still a good young piece. And they're under 500 fighting for the play-in. You're in a terrible position. I don't know how you would get out of it. They do have a good GM, but it's like you've kicked your feet up for like 6 years, and now you got to go to work. So it's a new NBA than when he originally started his previous rebuild, 2014. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a completely different NBA.
So yeah, the Boston Celtics are on an 11-game win streak. Looks like they're going to get 60 wins on the season easily. Are they the favorites to win?
They have to be, because, I mean, not only because of record, but domination. I mean, they've absolutely had a stranglehold on teams. And yeah, the Bucks have 40 wins. And I know the Thunder have been really good in the West. They have over 42. Same with Minnesota, Denver. I haven't seen the domination that I've seen from them that I see from Boston. They have to be the title favorite. They have to be.
Yeah, I do agree. However, I feel like if they don't win this year, like you have to change something.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 1,000%.
I think something will change as well.
Yeah. Because
the Boston has been a great team of wiggling out of contracts and superstar like disgruntlement. Mm-hmm. You know, like they got out of the big four that they had when they were aging, and they were still able to win within that period and get a high draft pick to draft like Brown and Tatum. Like they were literally making the playoffs and then drafting Brown and Tatum at number 3. It's like, that's unfair, you know? Yeah. So that's a really well-run organization. So I think if they do lose this year, you're right, something has to change, but it's not close to the end for them. Like I think there's no way you move on from Tatum. I think there's no way.
It would be Brown.
Right.
Because Brown would probably be the reason they lose.
Exactly, yeah. And like Tatum has struggled like in the playoffs before. I understand that, but I give him the treatment that I give Embiid. It's like he's the talent that you want each year. You know what I mean? Like he's shown no signs of falling off. He's young. He's peaking. So obviously you keep him, and even if he struggles in the playoffs, like you need to build him up. You know, you're not going to win every year. In the NBA, it's hard like that.
Yeah.
Even when you think about it with guys like Kobe and Jordan and LeBron, like people forget almost the losing that they had. Like if you really boil it down, Jordan lost, ended his season in losing more than he won the championship. Even though he went 6-0 in the finals, all that, there were more seasons that he lost, that he did not win the championship. Same with Kobe Bryant, same with LeBron James. And those are the guys we consider the greatest winners of all time. I'm just saying that you have to allow the growth in that budding period for Tatum, because he's a superstar. Like, I think he's going to end up being one of the best players in the NBA like very soon. You know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If he's not already, I don't think enough people like consider him for number one.
I mean, I don't, but I think he's like 7 to 10. I am looking at the play-in tournament, or the potential play-in in the West, and honestly, all these teams can make a run
For sure.
besides Golden State. It's 7 Suns, 8 Mavs, 9 Warriors, 10 Lakers. Which team do you think is most likely to make a run of the 4?
Well, yeah, you said it. Warriors last, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Lakers are like Western Conference Heat, where it's almost like it doesn't matter how they get in or what seed they are, they're a threat. You know, like
They really remind me of the Heat too, because they don't have like a true center.
Yeah.
And they don't have size at all.
And they play off like that superstar small forward. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like we've talked about the Suns. The thing is, they have pretty good records. Like Dallas has a good record, and the Suns have a good record. They'd be a little bit higher in the East, but
yeah.
And even the Lakers, like 33-29, is not horrible, especially coming down the stretch. This is tough. I think I would lean Dallas. I think Luka has shown the most in the playoffs out of those. I mean, they do have LeBron James, but
yeah,
Luka, I think, has shown the ability to like take over, and I think LeBron has kind of lost that step in at this point in his career.
He did have that game winner the other day, though.
No, yeah, I know, but I think like when we get to the playoffs, do you think he has the ability now to like carry that team?
Yeah.
Over a Dallas? I don't think he does. I just don't think he does right now. I think let me see. Well, I think the top 3 are obviously on a different level, and I don't think the Lakers could beat 4 through 6 either. I guess I shouldn't have said Dallas, because yeah, they could obviously beat Dallas.
They could easily beat the Pelicans and the Kings. Easily.
Not the King. I don't think they would beat the Kings.
They're really...
Yeah, I shouldn't say couldn't. I think I just don't think they would.
I think it would go to 6, but like...
Yeah.
They're not the Kings of last year.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said can't or couldn't. I shouldn't have said that, because they can, but I just don't think they will.
I even think they could beat the Clippers, honestly. If it's a late
That's why I didn't
matchup.
want to... Yeah, I didn't want to put the Clippers on like the Nuggets to rules of the C pedestal.
They could beat the Timberwolves, and I think they could beat the Thunder.
I don't think they can.
They're not experienced enough.
I know the experience thing. I just think that they're better teams. And like I know that's not all it comes down to. But
yeah,
if you're asking me to predict, like that's just what I think. You know, I just think those teams are above the playing teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing is, the Suns, Mavericks, and Lakers are all similar teams, in the sense that they're carried by a superstar in their own sense, and like they just need their supporting cast to play well, because they don't have terrible rosters, you know.
Yeah,
but they also need a perfect formula,
you
know. Where I think the Thunder have the star power to beat anyone, and like they're just deeper, I feel like, than the teams below them.
They're definitely deeper.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna surprise people, because like a lot of people are bringing up the experience, which is valid, obviously. Like it's not really common to see a team who like gets to the playoffs for the first time together and goes far. Like
yeah,
and if you do, you usually have like a seasoned veteran that's leading your roster. Because, like, you kind of bring up the Phillies in 2022. But, like, they had Harper and Schwarber.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's who they were led by. Like, this is different with the Thunder. They were led by SGA, who made the playoffs last time, I guess, was 2019. When they, like, battled the Warriors in the first round. Do you remember that? Like, Pat Bev was beefing with KD. Like,
yeah, they seriously haven't been there since?
Not SGA, yeah.
Damn. There's no
He was
way.
traded to the... But actually, the Thunder made the playoffs in that bubble.
Okay. Yeah, but that was without, like, Chet and Giddey.
Yeah. And, like, SGA wasn't the leader of that. That was, like, Chris Paul
Yeah.
and stuff, so... I don't know. I think they can do it, dude. I think they have a really good team that's, like... that just plays really well together. I think if of all inexperienced teams, I think they have the best shot. Like Timberwolves, I think won't get past the second round.
It's very uncommon that like they're the 1 seed and like they had so little time together. So I'm not ruling it out.
Mm-hmm.
However, I was gonna go Mavs for the team in the play-in that I think could go on a run, but
that's who I would go.
Then I saw the Sixers game, and then
I know.
they were healthy, and the Sixers...
Yeah, bad loss for them.
Yeah, terrible loss, and they needed it. They could have easily pushed to the 7th or even out of the play-in if they beat us. And that team, Kyle Lowry, Mo Bamba, Tyrese Maxey, Buddy Hield, and I don't know who the 5th guy was, but like you need to beat that team, and they really struggle in the last 2 months of the season.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, they only made the conference finals 1 time. That was without Kyrie. I don't know. I would need to see them go on a run like the next 20-some games for me to be convinced, but I'm going to go Lakers because LeBron is playing some of the best basketball I've seen him play.
Yeah, LeBron is playing really well. So,
and we were talking about it, but I don't think anyone is ever going to pass LeBron in points again.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. And like we also said, they should include it for a total. You know what I mean?
Playoffs included.
Yeah, because that's just it just undermines it, because 40. He just hit 40K for the regular season. Like he's already at 48,000 points total. Like he's gonna get to 50,000 total points,
and no one will ever do that because no one's gonna play.
No one's gonna play. Yeah,
go 10 finals in a row again. I don't think it's just not gonna happen.
No one's gonna be dominating the league at 20 or 38, 39 again.
Yeah,
like it's just not happening.
Or playing over 100 games in a season multiple times in their career.
Like he was averaging like 25 as an 18-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
And now he's 38, still playing the best basketball pretty much possible,
Yep.
Like he's still a top 5 player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's going to do it.
Yeah, no, like Nikola and Embiid can't because they didn't get hot right away. Kevin Durant's been too injured. Like, there's going to be guys like Kevin Durant moving forward that are amazing, but they don't play enough games.
Yeah.
You got to play like 80% of the games that you have to at least.
Yeah. Like you're saying, like an injury early in your career can almost eliminate you, like from the spot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like we were talking about that with Wembanyama, and it was just like, well, A, he missed some games his rookie year, which LeBron wasn't missing games.
Yeah.
And B, he's just not scoring enough right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this rookie year, he's just not scoring enough, which is like, again,
LeBron did finish with 20.9 and he's at 20.2. However, to
make up for your missed games, you needed more. Like he's just not scoring enough to make up for those missed games, which is crazy because he's scoring really well. Like he's putting up 20 points as a rookie. Like, that's great. And it's almost like, sorry, can't really get you to 40,000 or even close to 50,000, including playoffs. Because you think about it, LeBron was making the playoffs pretty quickly as a Cav. Like
his first finals appearance is like year 2 or 3, right?
I think. So his first real season was 04-05. 05-06. Yeah, 3rd year.
Damn.
Yeah. So, and it's like
the Spurs are not doing that.
They can't do that. And it's sad. Like, I'm sorry, Victor Wembanyama, you're an amazing talent, but it's almost like I have to cross you off because you're missing a little too many games in your rookie year. It's sad, but like, sorry, bro.
The only real person that could do it is Luka. But he seems to like want to get away from the limelight, and I don't think he's gonna go 21 seasons.
Yeah.
Like
He doesn't have the athleticism that LeBron has to like withstand 20 years in the NBA. Like LeBron again is the best athlete like ever, probably. I mean, he's 6'8", pushing 6'10", 260 pounds of just pure muscle. He's like a freak athlete, runs faster than anyone, jumps higher than anyone, and then he puts all that money into like preserving his body and stuff. Like it's insane. The like research and the like recovery process that he does at home. And no one, I mean, people can obviously do that, but no one can replicate what LeBron is doing and what he has done. And no one's, like you said, 10 straight finals appearances. Like, who is doing that?
No one.
Because you think about it, he's playing to the furthest point every single year.
Yeah.
Scoring all those points, racking up all those points. Like, no one's going to do that again. And that's why he's touching 50,000. Like, even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar couldn't hit. I don't think he hit 45,000 for, like, total. He may have, but I don't think he did.
Might have.
I don't know for sure, but he didn't hit 50,000. That's for damn
no,
sure.
Yeah, no.
Think about how impressive that is, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won a lot of finals and played in a ton of late playoff runs. Like, that's really freaking impressive.
I will say, since we were talking about Wembanyama, I don't sports bet, but if I did, I would put a large amount of money on him finishing his career as the leading block getter of all time. He already has 186.
What do you know what the?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
I bet it's like I think it's Hakeem Olajuwon has the
most blocks in NBA history.
Yeah,
it is Hakeem. I'm pulling up the list right now. So Hakeem has 3,830.
That's an incredible. And what's second place?
Second is Dikembe with 3,300 almost.
Okay. So I'm going to look up for Hakeem his rookie year. How many blocks did he have total?
He averages 3 a game on the season.
Who?
Or on the year, his career.
Hakeem?
Yeah.
Look up, what is Wembanyama's average right now?
Blocks per game.
Dude, Hakeem had 200.
Wemby's averaging 4.8.
Woo! Wow.
Yeah.
Hakeem had 220 blocks his rookie season. So Wembanyama could get there.
I'm gonna
with this last
one.
one.
Actually 3.4. But
3.4.
That's
okay. That's still insane, yeah.
Is that higher? What did I say Hakeem's was?
Hakeem blocks per game his rookie year. He only had 2.7 blocks per game his rookie year. So Wembanyama's higher. For his career, he was 3.1 blocks per game.
Wow.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Wembanyama's having like an insane rookie season.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's getting the coverage too. He gets posted a lot, so he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's living up to the hype.
Yeah. I think Chet Holmgren is too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, although he's not necessarily doing the historic rookie numbers that Wembanyama's doing, he's still putting up crazy numbers for a rookie. And
he's like the third or fourth scoring option too.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's a little bit luckier to be in the position he's in because the Thunder are going to make the playoffs as a high seed, obviously. So we're going to get a full dose of Chet Holmgren in the playoffs. Like, I'm ready to see it, but I wish we were getting Wembanyama on that stage too. I just wish that team was good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could make the playoffs next year, but when you talk about contending for a title,
no, they're not there.
Yeah,
he played all games so far. Chet 30-minute average, 2.6 blocks per game.
That's good. Right under
17 points per game. That's only 3 under Wemby, and he's like the fourth scoring option.
Yeah,
which is insane to think about.
Mm-hmm. And I'm ready to see when Wembanyama gets like a real isolation game, because that's when he's going to start putting up crooked numbers. You know what I mean? He's not really being the focal point of the offense right now. You know what I mean? Like, when I watch them, it just doesn't feel like they run things through him. It's almost like it's a team effort, which I appreciate that. That's fine and all. But when you are a team that lacks depth talent-wise outside of your big man like that, you have to at some point make him the center of everything. Like that's what the Nuggets did. They learned with Jokic and made him the focal point of the offense, and he ran everything through him, and he elevated. I mean, it wasn't necessarily just Jokic, but Jokic obviously had a big part in elevating a lot of guys' games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Brown had the best years of his career there, and we're seeing his not massive fall off, but he's not the player that he was in Denver now. So I think there is something to be said there for the Spurs because there needs to be more attention offensively on him. He needs to get the ball more. The usage rate needs to bump up because I think you're just trying too hard to force develop other players where it's like kind of let them play with Wemby and figure it out that way.
Yeah,
You know?
there are clear chemistry issues if you watch that team.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they have Keldon Johnson, and who's that other guy? I always forget his name.
Sohan or Sokan?
No, the other one.
Devin Vassell?
Yes.
Yeah, Devin Vassell.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you got to move one of them. Maybe.
Yeah, the problem is they're not putting up numbers that are really good enough for you to get a good package out of them. Like, I think if you want to move on from them, you got to get something in return.
Yeah.
Because that is a piece for you. You know, that's one of your bigger pieces. I know they're not as good, but that's something that you... But I agree with you, you know. Who do you think that they should move on from? Because I'm not really sure.
Devin.
Yeah, I think you get the best package out of Devin.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you move him. Because I like Sokan's development. I think he's going to be a good player. People kind of are hard on him right now, but I think he's going to be a good player.
He could be like a Chet or a Rodman, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rodman. I like that comparison.
Yeah, maybe not Chet because he isn't like as versatile, but like
he's just got to be able to knock the three ball down.
I meant to say Giddy actually, Giddy or Rodman. I don't know why I said Chet.
Giddy is a good one too. I like that comparison.
One of those two.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
No. I wanted to maybe touch on college basketball a little bit.
Oh yeah, Caitlin Clark. Yes.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark surpassed the all-time scoring record in men's or women's Division I history. I'm not sure what the exact number is, but it's over 3,800. I'm pretty sure she passed Pete Maravich with a free throw the other night. Was it yesterday or Saturday night? I think it was Saturday night.
Yesterday, I think.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, she is on top. She's on top of the mountain. I mean, I think she's the best college basketball player I've ever seen. If I watched Pete Maravich, maybe I would lean somewhere else. But that's not in the picture. I watched Caitlin Clark. She is the best college basketball player I've ever seen. And I'll even put her up there with maybe even some of the best college athletes of my lifetime. You know,
yeah.
What she's doing is incredible, and
it's like comparable to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I love what she's doing there, and it would, like you said, comparable to Joe Burrow. It would be absolutely historic and like storybook for her to finish it with a title. Like, I don't know if they can.
They have a chance. They beat Ohio State,
Yeah.
which is one of the top 4 seeds.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the rankings right now because I don't remember what it is, but their Selection Sunday is coming up. So Iowa is 3, and yeah, they beat Ohio State. When was that?
Yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. So they played Ohio State when she beat the record?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that they were playing Ohio State. Because it seems like they played them like so recently. But yeah, they are Iowa's below Stanford and South Carolina right now. And I don't know if you've watched South Carolina. They're a force to be reckoned with. But I think when you have a power like Caitlin Clark, especially in a college bracket style March Madness tournament, when you have someone like Caitlin Clark on your team, that's a recipe for success. Like there's always that story of like that one player like putting the team on their back through March Madness and getting them like on a deep run, even winning the championship sometimes. And if there's anyone to do it, it's going to be her. Like when I'm making my bracket, I'm going to pick Iowa.
I am too.
Yeah, like partly because of what I've watched, but also just because I really want it to happen. Like I really want to watch her win it all.
Yeah.
It would be the cherry on top of like her career. And the thing, when she gets drafted to the WNBA, which literally might not be this year, it could be next year.
Well, she declared.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm out of the loop. But so when she gets drafted to the WNBA,
It's going to the Indiana Fever.
yeah, and she like the numbers are going to go up for the WNBA. Like I'm ready to see the ticket prices.
They already projected it. Like the average Indy Fever ticket was like 64, and now it's going to be like 152.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. I mean, even for an NBA, like 152 is like an insane amount. So
if Philly gets a team, I'd see her.
Oh yeah,
1,000%.
Me too. Yeah, I would even make the drive to Connecticut when they play Connecticut Sun because it's actually not that bad of a drive. It's only like 2 hours.
Is it?
It's
I've driven.
2.5.
I've driven there for Thanksgiving. It felt like 4, but I don't know.
Nah, it's not that bad. Nah. Well, once you get higher into Connecticut or like in different spots, but nah, because I'm pretty sure where is their arena? Isn't it like right near Hartford?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it is. So Hartford is not that far from New York. New York's only an hour and a half. So I would make the drive. Honestly, I would do it because she's
something else.
Yeah, that's something like almost like bucket list sports fan to like get to one of her games.
Mm-hmm.
Like LeBron, you gotta get to a LeBron game.
I'm going next year.
Yeah, me too. I
Have
want
to
get there. Yeah. But I'm also ready for the men's side to touch on them a little bit because I wanted to touch on it more with Aiden, but they just released the new rankings today, which of course Bleacher Report doesn't have it, but I know Houston remained number 1. UConn was number 2. To make an early prediction, I think UConn is the best team in the country. I know Purdue has Edey, which is like, I know Edey seems like such a cheat code, but he's just not. And like we've seen it, they got upset by the 16 seed. Like they lost to the 15 seed St. Peter's the year before that. Like they're just not a force to be reckoned with the way that UConn is. Like UConn is coming off the national championship last year, and it almost seems like they have a better roster this year.
Yeah.
And like a better team because they weren't this hot at this point last year. Not to say that they snuck in or anything, but they were a 5 seed in the tournament. So it's not like they were one of the top teams in the country or anything like that. And now they've just ascended to this level. I'm not sure if anyone can touch them. Houston, which is the number 1 team, is good, but I don't think it's anyone in the top 5 right now. If there's anyone that I think could beat them, Tennessee could. Tennessee is in the top 5. They could, but I don't think it's going to be Marquette. I don't think it's going to be Purdue, which I said. I don't think it's going to be Arizona. I'm looking more at Iowa State, which I think is really sneaky good. Duke is sneaky good. And Carolina is just really, really just a good, well-rounded roster. But again, just a level below the top 2, which I would say UConn and Houston are. But those teams definitely have a shot. So to round it out, Houston, UConn, Tennessee, Iowa State, Carolina, Duke. I think those are the 6 teams that really have a fighter's chance at winning it all.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to save like the rest of this for Aiden?
Yeah.
I can't really add much.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back next week and we'll probably go all in on college basketball because the week after tournament starts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll see you.